Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a MidRank Madness 3v3 here on Augustine Falls, the latter edition. This replay was sent to Snipermonkey. His email address is in the description. Please send all future MidRank Madness and Into the Void replays to him directly. Alright, so we have Team 1 here on the southern side of the map. It is the red Zerg player, Captain Avalanche. His teammate, the blue Zerg player, Toucan Van. And then we have GT Kessler. He is a blue Protoss player. On the other side, we have a yellow Protoss player, Crazy D. We've got an orange Protoss player, Dream Bible. And then a purple Terran player, Hanaru. So yes, all the MidRank Madness replays were sent to Snipermonkey. He chose the very best ones and then sent them back to me and let me know which ones to cast. So thanks again, Snipermonkey, for all of your service, helping this channel have incredible replays cast. All right, man. It's going to be, let's see here. Let's do red versus blue. Yeah, I think that will make it a little bit easier. 2v2, I can use the colors, but 3v3 and 4v4, it's easier with the red versus blue. I like taking this spot too, Captain Avalanche. Just because I like creep spread, and if you take your first base here as a Zerg, it helps with the creep spread. Wow, Toucan has a third base up here before spawning pool. Man, I've always wanted to do that. Somicron does that sometimes when we 3v3, but maybe I'll do it more. Anyway, as long as you're scouting. As long as you're scouting here. And there is a forge here from Dream Bible. He can throw down cannons if he wants to. There's another pylon coming up, but I kind of feel like this hatchery will be up before you can throw down a cannon. Let's see. It's a race. It's a race. It's gonna be a race. Yes. There we go. So, yep, you can see ya. He can see you, little probe, little Dream Bible. Oh, no, this is way too many workers. Okay, so you killed one of the probes. Congratulations. But you pulled 4 probes off the line? GT Kessler? No, bad. Don't do that. Cannon coming up in absolute full view of everything right now. Tell me you have Lings on the way. He's got Lings. Okay, so we should be able to shut down this cannon rush. And in 3v3, if one of your players dies to cannon rush, you're pretty much going to lose the game. I mean, killing the probe is really good, but also these cannons need to die. So probe dies, got more Lings, got any more of these Lings to kill this cannon before it comes up. You only made 2 Zerglings. Got cannons on the way, or rather spine crawlers on the way. But the cannon's going to work on this already. Injecting. Toucans are firing. Should have made more Lings. He had the resources to make more Zerglings. What you needed here was not spines. You just needed to have like 6 Zerglings, and these would be dead. So maybe we're going to try to get in here. This one? Okay, I guess we're going to go after the one that was not as injured. So Queen dead, Lings all dead, but cannon down. All right, and then another cannon down. So it was a sloppy hold, but it was a hold nevertheless. There were some resources put into those cannons and those pylons, and everything is fine now for Team Red. Meanwhile, Team Blue has been working on gateways. It's a lot of gateways. 3 gate, 4 gate opening. Is he going for a 2-base, 4-gate play? Maybe. Maybe so. Dream Bible is expanding because that is something Protoss players can do, is go for a cannon rush and still expand and be just fine with it. No concerns whatsoever. Hanaru is going for a very quick starport here, 1-1-1-ing it, and does have an expansion on the low ground here too. There's a bunker with Marines, but where your opponent are all Zerg players, I don't know, man. A bunch of Lings show up or a bunch of Banelings show up and you're pretty much toast. That said, oh, Dream Bible left the game. No, Dream Bible. Dream Bible, no, you have to stick around. I know your cannon rush didn't kill anybody, but it actually forced a lot of stuff out of the Zerg players and the friendly Protoss player down here. I guess I said everybody down here was Zerg. That's not the case, but there are 2 Zergs, and that's enough. 2 Zergs is extremely problematic. All right, what do we got? More and more gateways from Crazy D. He is going for like a 2-base, 7-gate charge lot, which I am sort of on board with here. Zerg players hate this kind of stuff. I hate dealing with it at this level, at least. More starports coming in and a fusion core. Battle cruisers from Hanaru. 3v3. Battle cruisers, very popular. Also, Protoss players are rushing directly for carriers, very popular, as we see the double Stargate coming up from GT Kessler, too. So I think everybody's doing all right. I mean, slow zealots just kind of wander in and kill this tank. La 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 la, killing the tank. Going after the bunker. They're not going to get it because reinforcing Marines did shut that down. Ling trying to see what they can do, but a pretty good Protoss force down here. Again, 2-basing it with this many gateways. Not chrono boosting out charge, but probably should be. But that's okay. It's mid-rank madness. This is where we live. This is what we do. Captain Avalanche is not actually saturated his third base at all. I'm not sure. Did he make all these Zerglings? He made all these Zerglings. So he hasn't been droning up. He's not sitting on that many resources either, but he is getting a lair, which I'm a big fan of. Here at about 5 minutes. Toucan Van already has his. Hanaru is going for that Yamato and tech labbing it up. And sitting here taking a third base. And this is going to be battle cruisers, ladies and gents. If you're Zerg, Corruptors. Corruptors now. If this was just one battle cruiser, fine. Hold it off with Queens and Spores. But if there are multiple battle cruisers, which there are, I don't know, I'm going to say there's 2 in production, but there's actually a medevac in production here and a supply block for Hanaru, unfortunately. Now, the good thing about Dream Bible leaving is that his resources are actually going to his teammates. So all the stuff that's harvesting is actually helping his teammates kind of get bigger armies faster, which is nice, but it's still a 2v3 situation in that place. Creep spread has been pretty darn good here from Toucan Van. I'm liking it from him. Not so good out of Captain Avalanche. He could probably work on that. But again, I've had games where my creep spread's incredible, but my army's not good. And you kind of need both. If you have to prioritize, maybe get a good army and then worry about creep spread once you have that down. Anyway, charge lots are here. A bunch of stalkers are here. This is a 2-base, pretty significant gateway attack out of Crazy D. I think Toucan Van's going to lose his base. Void Rays are trying to handle this. They're going to help with the Zealots a little bit, but that stalker count is high enough that it's going to be a problem. Tanks and Marines are showing up from Hanaru, just enough to maybe make everybody think there's not battle cruisers on the way. Got some Banelings here from Captain Avalanche. That's going to be pretty useful against most of the stuff, against the Zealots, the Marines, and against the Stalkers. But man, good kiting, actually. The Banelings aren't going to connect with much. Maybe they're going to get the sentries. One sentry goes down. A few Zealots maybe take some damage, but that's about it. And replacing the base instantly as soon as you can. As soon as it's safe to do so is Toucan Van. Bunch of Banelings trying to come up. Zealots find those while they're still in egg form. And problems abound there. Hydras trying to deal with this army. Hydra's not going to be too bad, actually. Hydras trade pretty well versus Stalkers, especially maybe if there are some Void Ray supports here with prismatic alignments. It looks like Team South is going to be able to hold. Meanwhile, Hanaru, he's got a battle cruiser. Where is it? He's got the 1, he's got the 2 battle cruisers. Okay. So at this point, one of the Zerg players needs to go for a Spire. I'm not sure that they have a Spire. There we go. Captain Avalanche does. He's not working on the Corruptors, though. That might be a bit of a problem for Team South. So the aggression has definitely been on Team North's end so far in this game. Team South hasn't done much except for a little bit of some Zealot poke and a bit of a Ling poke there. But yeah, Crazy D's on 3 bases. Toucan Van is on his 4th. Is that what this is? Yeah, man. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is that a 5? And a 5th. Yeah, he went for that quick 3rd. So his expansion timings are going to be pretty good at this stage. He is happily sitting on 1 million workers, which is 76. 76 workers at 830 is not too shabby. He is also working on a Lurker Den. He's going for speed for the Hydralisks too. Fleet Beacon in production. I told you somebody was going to go for carriers, and it's going to be Kessler. So he's got the Void Rays. He's also getting the carriers. Sky Toss is pretty hard to deal with in team games. Just because, like, as a Zerg player or as a Terran player, you kind of have to account for what everybody else is doing, and then a Sky Toss army shows up, and it's kind of needs its own special response in order to handle it, and it's kind of hard to do both. Again, that's what team games are all about, though. Does Toucan have another base? Good golly. Toucan's kind of carrying here. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, 6 bases. He's having a great time. Having a good time for sure. Captain Avalanche doing better with the creep spread. Up on that right side. Lurker Den here for Toucan Van. As we mentioned, he was going for that one. Greater Spire on the way now from Captain Avalanche. And getting a second Spire. So he's going to have the ability to make a lot of Corruptors and some Broodlords if he wants. A few Hydras out for Toucan Van. He's at 157 supply. Crazy D's at 154 with all his huge Stalker army. Hanaru is sitting at 144 supply, so he's not that far behind. Captain Avalanche only at 111, and Kessler's at 99, but I think that's going to be big sooner rather than later here. Hydras don't trade all that well versus battle cruisers, it turns out. They are really good against battle cruisers in Brood War. Not so good here in StarCraft 2. Unfortunately for them. It's going to be Corruptors. There's a reason I've been saying Corruptors. Corruptors are in production now from Captain Avalanche. Hanaru's battle cruisers do manage to win the day. 6 kills on the one, 4 kills on the other. One of them is very injured, only 60 HP remaining. And actually crazy that he's getting some Colossus to deal with these Hydralisks. I have to say I agree with that immensely. Banelings surprisingly good against these particular compositions. Banelings do pretty well against Stalkers if you have enough of them. And in addition, they are not lights. They're biological only, so they don't take extra damage from Colossus. Kind of interesting. All right, so Corruptors coming on in, trying to snipe these battle cruisers down before the Stalkers notice that they're alive. One battle cruiser down, but it does get a Yamato off. First of all, the Void Rays on the top left are not... Oh, they're gone. Colossus joins the party. Extended Thermal Lance is not done yet. Ling's trying to get a surround on that Colossus, and they do end up almost taking him down. Don't quite have the upgrades for it. Carrier trying to defend as well as it can from Kessler, but a better Protoss player would have a maxed out army of carriers at 11 minutes. We're just not there yet. Colossus goes down, but guess what? 2 more Colossus are here. Extended Thermal Lance could not get here any sooner for Team Blue. But it's actually working out pretty well for them. It is almost done. Marines from Hanaru have joined the party. The Hydras are focusing down the Colossus because they don't have that range, and now they do. Now we can sit back and do some serious blot damage to these Hydralisks. The Stalkers doing pretty well for themselves too. Upgrades across the board are okay. 1-1 here for Crazy D. 1-1 for the ground armies for Hanaru. I mean, it's, you know, we're doing all right. Doing all right here for Team Blue. They're going to wipe out one of Toucan Van's bases, but again, he had 6. So losing 1 base is not going to kill him by any stretch. Bad rally on those Hydras. All of them die, and none of them make it back home. There are some Broodlords in the mix, and if there are not, oh, there are no Void Rays or anything. More bad Hydra rally. That really hurts a lot. So at this point, I'm not sure what Avalanche is trying to do. I hope he's making more Corruptors. He is actually making more Corruptors. Toucan Van decides he needs a Spire as well, but Team Blue's aggression throughout this entire game has been great. Ling's going to kind of just melt to this. The Broodlords are causing some problems, but if the Blink Stalkers blink right under them, all of those Broodlords die. Single Phoenix tries to show up. A bit of a golden armada here from Team Red, and Kessler join the party. Hanaru going to get another Yamato down while getting focused down by Corruptors. More firing with more of these battle cruisers here. Hydra's trying to stand and fight. This is an intense little battle right here. I'm loving it. From both teams right now. The Corruptors doing pretty well against the Broodlords. Hanaru is trying to kill these Void Rays first of all to make them a priority. Stalkers do pretty well versus Carriers. As we can see here, they're pretty good anti-air. They're not as good as Marines would be, but they're still pretty good. Colossus getting focused down now. I don't see any... Oh, battle cruisers are coming in from the top side to help with that reinforcement. What an intense little situation this is right now. My goodness. Oh, trying to Yamato down these carriers. The interceptor count can't be very healthy at the moment. In fact, it is going to be 1, so that's not ideal. Got some Vipers in the mix. I'm not sure what they're here to do. I guess, sure, they're going to parasitic bomb on the battle cruisers a little bit, but man, the carriers are gone. Stalkers are fighting, but Lings are coming in to deal with the Stalkers. Everybody kind of just making what they need to make this thing work. But Team Blue still in the fight. 9 kills on that battle cruiser. 9 kills. They both have 9 kills. They both have 9 kills. How nice of them. Spores doing a little bit of damage, but again, they do bonus versus biological, and, you know, battle cruisers are not biological. But when additional Corruptors show up, did he just teleport 4 inches? He sure did. All right, well, one of these battle cruisers is dead. The other ones should be able to hold, especially with Marine support and Viking support. It is a desperate attempt at a hold here from Team Red. Again, it is 3-2. It is only Crazy D and Hanaru right now, but they both have more supply than anybody else on Team Red right now. The Zerg players are not good at defending. They're better at being aggressive, at least not good defending right at home. Corruptors trying to get rid of these Colossus without taking too much damage from the Stalkers. Goodness gracious. Tempest are here to try to deal with the Stalkers, I guess. Not necessarily a fantastic idea, but Whatevs. It's cool anyway. Again, more Zerglings here from Toucan Van. What are his upgrades at? +3 missile attack here from Toucan Van. +2 armor, but no attack upgrades here. On the other side, Captain Avalanche does have +2/+1 for his lings. So his Zerglings are a little bit more effective versus these Stalkers, and maybe, just maybe, Team Red is going to be able to hold here. Boy, battlecruisers just jumped right on top of those Tempests. Tempests have the range benefit, but that means if they're really close, the benefit is gone. More Corruptors out. These Stalkers have been effectively unkillable. For Crazy D, he's just kind of wandering in right now. More and more Stalkers getting warped in all the time from Crazy D. Hanaro continuing to send in Marines, Marauders, Vikings, Kessler. Trying to hold here this Colossus in the battle. And no, Kessler loses his main Nexus. He's still got one base remaining, but actually 2 bases remaining. But this is an absolutely scrappy attack from Team Blue. They're continuing to send units across the map, continuing to keep them alive. And so far, they just took Kessler out of the game. So it's a 2v2 now, but Dream Bible is still producing income, some income. He's kind of mining out at his natural base at the moment. We've got more Tempest in production, but depowering, nicely done. Taking down both of the pylons, powering those Stargates. This has been a crazy little bit of time in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Just non-stop aggression. It hasn't been quiet enough to chop the head off of Team Red here, but enough nevertheless. I don't quite know. Yeah, man. Kessler is done. He doesn't have any production facilities at the moment. He can at least, well, he does have a powered Stargate here, but his production tab is empty at the moment. So trying to go for some Lurkers. Some Lurker upgrades on the way. Corruptor Ball, maybe enough. All right, so the Lurker's going to deal with the ground army, especially the Stalkers. Ling's going to deal with the Stalker army. Oh, he blinked onto the Lurkers a little bit. Did he just jump again? 2 inches? These are the shortest jumps I've ever seen. Yeah, so the problem is not the Lurkers. The Lurkers are having a great time versus this ground army. The problem here is that the battle cruisers are unopposed, effectively. There are no more Corruptors. There's a Hydra or 2 maybe left over. Queen is down. Drones trying to evacuate. Hard to do when battle cruisers and Stalkers are wrecking your face. Right side base from Captain Avalanche is held for the time being. But I mean, yeah, Crazy D's expanding all over the place. You just need Corruptors. You just need a lot of Corruptors. Both Zerg players are desperately trying to make Corruptors. Hydras are just not the answer here. I know you're trying to get rid, but it's got to be a Corruptor Zergling style thing. If you're going to get rid of Stalkers and battle cruisers. Did all of the Lurkers die? I'm realizing all of a sudden. The scan must have come in. The Lurker's dead. Zergling's cruising into Hanaru's base, though. Hanaru trying to take a third amidst all of this madness. Crazy D attacking into Toucan Van's 6th base. The battle cruisers and landed Vikings still going after Toucan Van here. The Corruptor Ball might be enough to actually deal with these battle cruisers. Holy crap. They can about 2-volley them down. Not quite a 1-volley scenario, but a 2-volley scenario. Marines are a problem. Vikings are a bit of a problem. But the Vikings should be able to take it down here. But, oh, Toucan Van losing another hatchery. Actually, this one stays alive, as for some reason the Protoss changed their focus there a little bit. Zergling's trying to jump on top of these Marines, and doing all right, actually. No medevacs to support them at all. Are these Avalanche? Yeah, these are Avalanche Lings, so they have +3 attack and adrenal glands. They're going to be mean. But more and more Marines here from Hanaru. He's just sending down unsupported Marines and battle cruisers effectively into play here. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at 14 kills on that Colossus. The Corruptors are trying to deal with them as well as they can. The Corruptor Lurker Ball. Ooh, the Stalkers walking into their deaths here, though. No. All right. Well, they're all dead before detection arrives. I guess there are more Stalkers remaining. They're trying to go some Ling. Trying to get Lings to surround a little bit, but that many Colossus with those upgrades? Let's deal with the Colossus first and then deal with the Stalkers. This ball of battle cruisers, though. Corruptors are trying to take them down. It's a very, very close battle here. Can we get there for Team Red? It doesn't look like it. The Corruptors are forced to flee. What upgrades do they have again? +2 flyer for one of them. The other Corruptors, if they're from Toucan, are not actually upgraded at all. So these are Captain Avalanche Corruptors, though. They have really good upgrades. This has just been scrap, scrap, scrap. Nothing but scrappiness all day here. Hydra Corruptor, not a bad composition. You're trying to deal with Battlecruiser Stalker. Hydra Corruptor is going to work out for you. You're going to have a good time with it, especially if you bring some Lings in to deal with the Stalkers. All right, man, so Hanaru just loses all of his Battlecruisers there, but he's continuing to flood in reinforcements. Reinforcing Marines not doing well for themselves. God, but more from Crazy D sneaking on in down this left side. I don't know, man. Hydra Ling, who's going to win this thing? Hanaru's at 145 supply. Captain Avalanche is at 185 right now. He's got bases coming up all along the right side. Just kidding, that's Toucan Van. Toucan Van's expanding up the right side because, again, his macro is pretty fantastic. These Broodlords from Captain Avalanche, these are, in fact, Broodlords from Captain Avalanche. So, yeah, the problem for Toucan Van is at 44 total supply. Kessler's at 33. Kessler's effectively dead. I don't even know if he's playing anymore. He just, I mean, he's kind of trying to rebuild a little bit, but I don't know where he's been for the last little bit here. Hydras from Toucan Van attacking on in. Going after Hanaru's attempt at a third base here. Again, just Hydras mostly versus Hydras entirely versus a billion Marines from Hanaru. The Marines have +2 attack and +1 armor as well as stim, but no combat shield. Man, +3 armor on those battlecruisers is pretty darn intense. Broodlords alone trying to attack up this left side. Corruptors maybe could get in here and start doing some caustic spray, but that's okay. You need something to cover the Broodlords. Lings jump in there. Oh, but they've got the Zealots. Zealots to absorb the shots of the Zerglings for a little bit at least. But the Lings are surviving, getting right on top of these Stalkers, chewing them up with their better upgrades from Captain Avalanche. Attack on the right side from Hanaru. His Marine Battlecruiser army is here. Captain Avalanche going to lose one of his 2 sources of income. Just kidding. That's his only source of income. Captain Avalanche has 135 supply and about 2,000 minerals in the bank, but that's it, man. I don't think he has any more income coming into him whatsoever. Hydra's attacking into Crazy D's base here on the left side. Battle cruisers nowhere to be seen. I guess most of them were over on the right side, wrecking one of Kessler's bases. I guess that was what he was doing. He was trying to rebuild over on that right side, but Hanaru keeps his orbital command alive. Effectively his one source of income here. This is, again, extremely tight. Extremely tight gameplay. Hanaru coming on into Captain Avalanche. Captain Avalanche does not have much anymore. 144 total supply. Most of them are in Corruptors over on the left side and some Broodlords, but they're in no position to get back here and handle this largely ground army. There are no medevacs at all. All the gas. Oh, Hellbat. Banelings. Banelings turning the tide in that ground battle. Well done by Captain Avalanche. More Zealots coming in, though. This has just been absolutely non-stop. This whole last 15 minutes, I feel like. Toucan Van's expanding up on the Team Blues side of the map, you guys. That's how intense this is right now. I don't know about this from Kessler, though. Bunch of Zealots coming in from Crazy D. Void Race from Kessler trying to defend against this. He got Flux Fanes, which is great, but it's 2-2 Zealots with charge. The Stalkers are also 2-2. The income for these players is not good right now. Nobody has good income. I'm trying to find someone who has good income. There is nobody. This is it, man. Hanaru has 6 SUVs from a fairly fresh base. Nobody else has a fresh base, or even anything close to a fresh base that they're working from right now. Hanaru coming in with the battle cruisers, man. He's going to try to supply block Toucan Van into next week, but Toucan Van's at 19 total supply. It's hard to do that. Kessler is not rebuilding his base. The main base of Captain Avalanche is toast. He's going to lose his Greater Spire and his Spire. His army is here. It's the Broodlords. And it's a bunch of Corruptors. Maybe just turn most of them into the Broodlords instead. Oh, no, those Corruptors are here. Captain Avalanche trying to hold. Toucan Van trying to attack. Or again, build a base up here. That's not going to happen at all. Corruptors can only watch helplessly as more drones go down here for Captain Avalanche. It's the one army, man. It's the Broodlords and it's the Corruptors of Captain Avalanche versus the nothing of anybody else on Team Red. Hanaru's at 190 supply, so he's kind of killing it. His army's all here. If he comes down this right side, it will be bad times for Captain Avalanche. I don't think there are enough corruptors to handle these battle cruisers. There are 13 battle cruisers and only 18 corruptors. You need more than a basically 1-to-1 ratio to win that fight. The upgrades are, I want to say, fairly... it's 3-3 battle cruisers versus 3-2 corruptors. So, yeah, fairly even. But the Marines are a problem too. The Vikings are a problem as well. The corruptors are going to go ahead and take down this base of Hanaru's. Remember where I said Hanaru had the one source of income remaining in this game? He's got this one now. So that's really good stuff. Also, yep, Toucan is expanding and harvesting on the left side with his worker count, which is currently 24. But this army of Hanaru, it is basically a maxed out Hanaru army, Marine, battle cruiser. I gotta say how much better it would be if there were a couple medevacs in here, but it's cool. I'm not sure why you're dealing with Captain Avalanche. But yeah, the Voiderays are trying to deal with the battle cruisers, but there's enough Vikings and Marines that it didn't really matter. So you should have kind of probably attacked at the same time, Captain Avalanche and Kessler here, but a lot of Baelings from Avalanche does actually manage to handle the ground army. So now, the Broodlords are useless is the problem. Now it's basically, again, that 1-to-1 ratio of corruptors versus battle cruisers. The Yamatos are a great equalizer as well, and that's going to be it. Captain Avalanche is down. He GG's out of there. Toucan Van out of there too, and bam, Hanaru, Crazy D, and the Absent Dream Bible are your winners in 26 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh my gosh. What a ridiculous 3v3. I enjoyed that immensely. Thanks for sending that in. I think it was Hanaru that sent it in. I recognize his name, and he kind of won the game. So people like to send in games where they win, obviously. But anyway, yeah, that was brutal. Again, nobody really has any income at this stage of the game. I guess in fairness, Crazy D is getting a new base now. Toucan Van's okay economically. If we look at income, he's sitting on 1,600 minerals. This is not terrible. But yeah, units lost, resources lost across the board. 800 here by Captain Avalanche, 400 by Toucan Van, 50,000 resources lost for each of the Zerg players. Hanaru ends up losing 53 resources, or 53 himself. Unless that's Crazy D. Hold on a second. No, that's him. That's Hanaru. Amazing. What a ridiculously fun match. Oh, 2 Mutalisks were made. I didn't even realize that. All right. Well, wow. So yeah, it's teamwork, guys. It is teamwork. It is aggression. You'll notice that Team Red never really mounted any significant attack on Team Blue. And that's a big deal in team games. The aggressive team is usually the one that wins, especially if there are Zergs. If you leave them alone, bad things will happen to you. So keep attacking those Zerg players especially, and you will see dividends paid for sure. All right, well, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a MidRank Madness. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Before us, our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice, our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. The path of ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. Kalarulas. Karamulas. Aklaranus. Naslaran. Kinalatu. Casar di Templare. Daramanaka. Oshara Sashina.